Yeah, so till last time we discussed some datetime functions and some logical functions, if and or all these things, right? So today I'll be discussing few text function, and then there is a function called related, which we will discuss, and then the few measures, like how to create measures. That thing we will discuss, right? So let me open this. Okay. So few text functions. So we discussed date and time function, right? And logical functions, like how to write if and or when to write these. So now we will discuss text function. Okay. So there are few text functions that I have mentioned here, which
Eh,
we use. Uh,
Shut
the first one is
Ermi.
length, right? So the first one is length of text. So basically, if you want to see the number of characters in a particular string, let's say if you want to know the length of adventure works, right? So then you will write len and then adventure works, and then it will give you the length of or the number of characters in adventure works, right? Similarly, there is second function which is called concatenate, and then there is text one, text two. So in concatenate, what happens? It works similar to the AND function, right? So in AND also we saw that if we write and like uh, one value and then second, then the and will what and will do and will combine both the two values that we saw last time, right? Let me open that and show you. Like this. So we had created one column called parent in this one was created in customer table, I guess, right? Customer lookup. Yeah. In customer table, we had created one column called parent, right? So in this, we had used yes and the dash. So what it did is it concatenated these three things, right? So similarly, concatenate means combined these three things, right? Similarly, there is a function called concatenate, in which will have like two argument, text one and text two, and it will join the two text strings into one. But the limitation of this concatenate function is you can have like only two text within this. As we have done here, we have combined like three text into this, right? Yes dash and then the other there is number, and with and you can combine as many text as you want, right? But with concatenate, you there's a limitation of passing only two texts or two arguments between this. So you can join or combine only two text strings, right? But like if you have two text or two values to combine, you can either use concatenate or use and. Both will work in a similar way. Then there is a function called left or right, right? So what it does is we will use this function and then I will show you how it works. So basically, left or right, any of these function, what it does is it returns a number of characters from start or end of text strings, right? So let's say under domain name I use left, and then I put left and then domain name and comma the number of characters you want to pull. So in adventure we have 9 characters, right? So if you write left domain name comma 9, so what it will do, it will start counting from the left side. The first thing it will count is A, then D, V, like 9 characters from the start, and it will give me the result. Excuse me. similarly, what does write function do? It will start counting from the back side, from the end of the string. And if you write like I want 5 digit or 6 digit, whatever, it will count from the back side, and it will give you that particular number of characters, right? So that's how the left or right text function works. So it is similar to the extract function that we had used in the query editor, right? There was one option under a tab where we had used extract, right? Similar to that, we have this domain name in which we can use left or right function, DAX functions, to extract number of characters. Similarly, there's something called mid. So you can extract character from the mid also. Like if you don't want to start from or get the from the start or end, you can have like one function which will give you from the middle, right? So uh, the syntax is mid, then you have to write the text from where you want to get the number of characters, and then what is the start position and the number of characters. So start position will uh, give you capability to start from anywhere. If you write, let's say in start position 3, so it will start counting from V, in this case V, because V is at third position. So you can extract or return get the number of characters from middle of a text string. Then there is something called upper or lower or proper, right? So this is also available in query editor, wherein you can do this, or later on if you want to do using DAX, you can do this, right? So what it will do is it will convert a text in string uh, to upper, lower, or proper case, right? So if you want to uh, change anything, let's say I want to change this to uppercase, I'm just giving an example. So you can do upper income level, so everything will be changed to uppercase. So wherever you want to do upper or lowercase or proper case, you can use this function, upper, lower, or proper. uh, any questions till now? Everybody is silent. Any question, anyone?
No question on my side.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, no question, then I'll start. So then there's a function called substitute, in which what happens is, let's say you want to substitute few of the values in this to something else, right? uh, so in that case, what you will do is you can use substitute. Substitute means instead of works, I want to put some other things over here, right? I don't want works. Instead of works, let's say I want work or something like that. I don't want few things over here, or I want to change the entire text over here. So in that case, what we can do is we can use substitute. So what it will do, it will take the text. You can write the old text, whichever you want to replace or substitute. You can put the new text, right? And instance number. So you can put uh, which instance, like uh, this, let's say, works, so how many times it occurs. So I think this is optional. Wherever it's written in the bracket, it's optional, so you can write it or you cannot write it. So that is up to you. Even if you write text, old text, new text, so what it will do, it will see in the entire string wherever that text will occur, and it will change, it will convert that old text into new text, substitute the old text into new text. So that's what it is mentioning, replaces an instance of existing text with new text in a string. Then there is a function called search, in which what it will do is it
Well,
will find
excuse
the.
me, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it possible that you can actually show us an example of each for each function that you're going over, just so that we have it when we go back? Because I like to practice. So
Yeah,
can you
yeah. So
just
I
have it?
will show you few of this. I will show you few of these. in the Power Query also. Or if you want, I can show you right now. I just wanted to go over these functions first and then show you guys. But if you want, I can do right
Oh,
now
okay.
also.
I didn't know you planned to actually show us a demo for each of them. It's just easier so that we can see exactly how to do it. At least
Okay.
for me, I'm very visual, so I just wanted to see it um, being
No
used
problem. I
in
can I can
action.
show you in any of these. Let's say uh if you want to do me for all of these, so I can do that, but that's not an issue. So let's say you want to look for the length of text, right? So length of text, let's say I want to look for the length of income level. I'm just showing you like how this works. Okay. Income. So I have just what I have done is I have uh, created a calculated column in which I am writing income level length. This is like the name of the calculated column that I will create, and then I will use len function, which we have discussed. And what I will do is I will put income level into this. So what it will give me, or instead of income level, you know what? Username. So it will be different. So let me put username, length of username. So what is the length of each of these username, the name of username of each of these customers, right? So username, right? So what I have done is this is length is a function, and under length you have to pass which you want to find out the length of which particular column, right? So that's what I have written, length, and then inside this username. So the syntax is the username is the column name and AW customer lookup is the table. So from AW customer lookup, you have to look for username, and uh, this is the username. So you need to find the length of each of these. So since calculated column works row by row, so it will go to first row. It will see under username what value is it, and then you see here it's Blake 60, so it will count the number of characters in the Blake 60 and it will return you the length. So let me hit enter. So there is one column will be created in which you see under Blake 60 you have 7. So how many characters? 7 characters. So that's why the length of this one looks as 7. Then you have 8, 10. Like these are varying because the length of each of the username are different, right? So that's how the length function works. Any question? No question.
No question.
Okay. So similarly, the concatenate function. This function we discussed, right? Like concatenate works similar to uh, the and operator. So this is like the similar like the output will be similar. Instead of and, you can write concatenate, yes, comma, dash also. So and then and like this. The drawback of this concatenate is it will input only 2 characters. So it's better to use and. It is easier, and then you can combine as many strings as you want, text strings as you want. So but the purpose of concatenate is also to uh, basically join 2 text strings into one, right? Then there's something called left or right? So let me show you the left function, how it works. uh, so I'll go into calendar lookup, and then let's say there is a something called month name, right? January, February, here there will be multiple month name, right? So what I want is I want the let's say I want to have short month name or something like that, in which you have like only 3 characters. So how I can do is I can create a calculated column, new column. in the calendar lookup, and then I will write short month. In this, what I will do is I will write length, which will give, sorry, not length. We were discussing left, and then we will take month name column. So as soon as you write month, you will get multiple options over here, and then you need to select wherever whichever column you want to pull. So I know that I want to pull month name from calendar lookup. So I will select this and then close. So it will give you, sorry, not close. It will, so by default, it has taken one character. So if you see at the top under left, you have two arguments, text and then number of characters, right? So how many characters you want to actually pull from this text? So I want 3 characters, short month name, which will get denoted by 3 characters. So I will put 3 and then hit enter. So it will pull 3 characters from this text, right? Similarly, if you want to use write, it will work in the similar manner, just that it will take your uh, start counting from the end of the text, right? So this is how left works. And then uh, similarly, left, right, mid, all will works like in similar way. And there is something called upper, lower, proper, right? So let's say I want to make the short month in uppercase, everything in uppercase. So you can actually use multiple functions in one formula also, right? So I have under short month, I have Jan now. These three characters has been extracted from January, from month name, from this text, right? So now I want to make this into uppercase. So what I can do, I can write upper over here, and then under upper the entire thing, because the syntax of upper is under upper you have to pull the text, right? So this is the text that I want to put, each of these text, right? So that's why I have, outside of this formula, I have put the upper function. And if I hit enter, what will happen? Everything will be changed to uppercase, right? So that's how the upper function works. Similarly, you can do proper case or lower case, whatever you want, right? Proper case, it was already in proper case, so you can make lower case, upper case, anything. So that's how the upper, lower, or proper case function works.
So here
Quick
Any?
we don't
question.
need to remove the left.
No, you
Mm,
don't need to remove the left. That is what the left function, the function, the uh, left function was actually extracting the 3 digits from this month name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the purpose of the inside this function, left AW calendar lookup month name comma 3. So this function was actually extracting 3 characters from the month name, and then you want to convert that 3 digit into uppercase. So that's why I have put upper outside this left function.
So here, if we remove the left, it's gonna change the man's name. The change is gonna be on a man's name.
Yeah, so if I remove left, so that means you don't want to put left function. So in that case, what will happen? Uh, you will have to remove 3, and then it will
Yes.
only be month name. So then
Okay.
it will make the uppercase to this column.
Yes.
So it
Okay.
will not change the it will not make the uppercase for the short month. It will actually make the month name into uppercase, right?
All
Because
right.
I'm not using these functions. That means the argument inside upper will go, which will be month name, AW calendar lookup month name, which means you go to the calendar lookup table and look for month name and make it to the uppercase. So it
Mm-hmm.
will change the month name to the uppercase instead of short month.
Thank you. Got it.
No
I have a
problem.
question on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you were to just take out the word upper, that would still be the same syntax that you use to create that short month, right?
Sorry, can you come again?
So you use the syntax that you wrote to create the
Mm-hmm.
short month,
Mm-hmm.
JAN, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's that same syntax, and you only added upper on the front of it to make all of that into all
Correct.
uppercase. And then if
Correct.
you wanted to do this, you can leave the same syntax, or use the same syntax and just change it into lower, and then
Correct.
that would be all lower. Okay, that's
Yes.
good. But then going back to the end and concatenate, I have a question on that one. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to demonstrate that, or I can just.
If you wanted to, if you want to have a look, I can do that.
Yeah,
It works the same way. Let me
yeah, yeah.
actually do that for you.
You don't
So
have
let's say,
to.
okay.
I can ask. I mean, if everybody else is
Yeah, yeah.
clear, I'm
Okay.
the only person that's not clear. So I just wanted to make sure. So we can just replace the end sign by concatenate, and then that would give us the same output, right? And then the same vice versa. If you wanted to use um, the
Yeah.
concatenate,
Let
if
me.
it was concatenate, and you can change it into the end, and to make it into,
Yeah.
like, say, if we wanted to connect three text values together.
Yeah, let me actually do that for you so you will understand. So basically, let's say let's say you want to create full name, right? Uh, so in this case, what will happen? If you write concatenate function, right? So here you can see it joins two text strings into one text strings, right? So you can't actually write prefix first name, last name. You can't pass three of these arguments. You have to pass only
Right.
two, right?
Right.
So if
Mhm.
you write first name and then comma, what did I do? First name, comma, last name. So it will concatenate it will
First.
give you first name and last name without any space or anything. And you can't put any other arguments inside this, right? You can't put like space or anything. So that's why that is the limitation of concatenate function. It will look like this. But in the similar way, if you want to do it through and, right? So what will happen? I will put AW first customer lookup first name and let's say last name. So this will give you same result that is there right now, the same result, but here we have option to put space. Like you can put as many argument as you want using and. So now there is space. If you want to actually add prefix before that prefix column, you can add that also, right, Mr. And then if you want to add space after prefix, you can add that also. So the limitation of concatenated, it will take only two arguments, but with and you can concatenate as many or combine as many columns as you want. So that's why like this is better and flexible, but the purpose of both are same.
Okay. No. So if we wanted to just use like, say, two text values, like, say, first name and last name, we can use concatenate, but instead of it's the same sort of syntax. Is that, I'm trying to understand, is it the same syntax?
Exactly.
All we have to do is just replace the end by concatenate and just kind of combine two text values together.
No, so as I showed you, right, the concatenate is like the function concatenate is you have to give the first argument, comma, second argument, like first column, comma, second column, and it will join the both the values are under the both the columns.
Right, but it's the same syntax. We can
The same syntax with which one? And this
with
one.
the end, yeah, except for this is to
But
concatenate to connect more than three values, but the
Yeah,
other
both
one
are
is
same. Both are same. If you have like two things you want to concatenate, you can do either using concatenate function or and function. That will work the same way.
caution, better on concatenate, what?
Concatenate.
Concatenate. Okay, I
1
don't know
minute.
how
I
to
will
say
show
that.
you. I will show you. Concatenate.
Concatenate. We
Yeah.
don't have to add space, no space, right? That's the difference between concatenate and end.
No, no,
Is that
that
the
is not the
difference?
difference. No, no, that is not the difference. In concatenate, the difference is you see the syntax, no? In concatenate, you have two texts. So you
Yeah,
can
two
you
text.
can add space also. What you can do is you can write full name and comma space. You can do anything, but you have to pass only two two things over here. Text 1 and text 2, but with and you can add as many text as possible. But if you have only two text, you can use either concatenate or and both will work.
I thought no space on concatenate. That-
No, 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 you can use space
Okay.
also. Let's say I, instead of this, I write concatenate. Anything you can pass concatenate first name comma second argument is space. But then you can't put third argument. It will start giving you error.
Yeah.
You just have to put two arguments. You can pass anything in these two arguments. Let's say I write like this. So what will happen? After Blake, there is one space that you can't see because you don't have anything else after that. But you have a Blake. You have a space after each of these values. So you can put space here also if you want. But the thing is you can pass only two arguments. Anything. You can put space in the
Okay.
first place also. So that is not the problem. The problem is if you have multiple
We
things
don't
you want
have
to
to add more.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
More
If
than
you
two.
have
Okay.
multiple things to concatenate or combine, then this formula won't work.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hanan, is it clear for you?
yeah, I get the idea. What I was asking was,
Hmm?
is it the same formula? Do we use the same syntax in replacement of the concatenate in this case? Can we use an and just the way that you have everything written right now? Can if
Okay,
we were
you
just to
want
do
you want me to replace concatenate with and like this?
Okay.
no, not in
No,
the
the A
beginning, like it
and
can
D.
Okay,
work that way, but like in the
okay,
middle, like
and like this.
Yeah.
will that work?
Yeah, it will work.
This is the same with
Okay, that's
It
all I
will
wanted
work.
concatenate,
to
right?
ask.
It will work. Let
Okay,
me.
that's what I was asking for. Just saying, if we just replace we use the same formula and just change or use the word and or concatenate, interchangeably. Is
Okay.
that okay?
Okay, 1 minute,
That's
1 minute.
the question.
Cannot convert value Blake of type text to type true or false. Okay, so this takes, I think, the logical functions. Let me correct. So this won't work. This won't work and won't work because it will check. So this one takes the logical function. So you have to write the logical function means it will take whether the first logical function is true or not. If not, then it will take both the functions and it will
Okay.
return you true or false, right? So
Okay.
it will not this is logical functions. And operator that I was talking about is uh, actually combining different text, right? So this and will take the two logical functions over here. Likewise, the thing that we discussed, right? If day of week is equal to 6 comma day of week is equal to 7, then weekend else weekday, right? Let me show you this calendar lookup. Mm, this one here, if you see here, what we had done is, this is a logical functions, right? Why logical function? Because it is checking actually whether day of week that we had created is 6, or day of week is 7 or not. So here you could have used, instead of like this, you could have used or function or and function. Or if you wanted and function, then it would have been not this 6 or 7, it would have been uh, here in this case it will be or only, because it will check either 6 or 7. But uh, the purpose of showing this is to uh, tell that the and function that is there, or function that is there, take the argument which is logical. Logical means in which you it will check whether this is true or not. The first argument that is there is true or not. It will not directly take the column name. It will check some logic over here. That column name is equal to something or not, or greater than something or not. Some logical function over here. Some logical thing over here in both the argument. But this function won't work like that, but in concatenate the and will work. The and that I am showing over here, that will work, as I was showing you in this customer lookup. In the full name, this and won't work because it takes the logical function, but it will take but you can use and operator over here instead of comma. You can use and operator over here like this.
Mm.
It will work because and operator doesn't need logical function to concatenate. It will directly concatenate the multiple columns into one.
I get it. Thank you, Miha.
No problem. Any more question,
Now,
anyone?
just one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the and is an operator. What else is the or operator? What are the operators? What other operators are there?
Yeah, so there are multiple operators and will combine. So this and, don't get confused with this and the other things, that is or and all those things. This or is logical, like will be used in logical functions. So there are multiple operators. Let me actually write multiple operators over here. So there is something called and. First one is and. Then there is something called or, right? Or either you can write and using this or this. Both are valid. Then there's something called or, like this. Both are same. Then you have something called greater than, less than, equal to, right? So it will check whether a particular value is greater than something or less than something or equal to something. So these are the operators that is there. So mostly these are the few of the operators that we use, right? So the operators are used in the logical functions wherever you want to test whether that thing is true or false, or like that. Then you will use greater than, less than, or, and all these things. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we had created something called parent also here, right? So I can show you. So if you see here under parent, what did we do? We checked like whether total children is greater than 0 or not. So this greater than is also an operator. So under if is a logical function, right? So under if, we are checking whether the total children is greater than 0 or not. So we are using greater than operator, and then we are giving if result is true, do this, and if result is false, do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any question you guys have, Muhammad and Aklilu?
No questions from me.
Okay. Aklilu, you are good?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we can go ahead. I will delete this full name CC1. Don't need it right now. So then we have something called substitute and search. If you want to see how to do substitute, then what we can do under email address, let's say I want to substitute at the rate with dot, just for the sake of showing demo. What I will do is I will create a new column, email address calculated column. I will use substitute function. Under substitute, you have to put text, old text, new text, and instance number, right? So what I will do, I will put text as uh, your email address, right? So I will put email address is the text which you want to, in which you want to substitute few things. Under old text, I will put at the rate, right? And then let's say I want to replace it with dot, right? And instance number is this at the rate is only once here. So I think this is something that is not required. Uh, so I will not do anything over there. I will close the bracket and then I will hit enter. So what it did is it has changed at the rate to dot everywhere because we have substituted at the rate to dot, and we have put at the all these into inverted comma because these are text column, so that's why we have put it under inverted comma. If you will write only at the rate, it will not pick up. Okay, so I think we have covered most of the text function, so let's actually discuss something called related. That is very important. I will any question here? Otherwise I'll delete this. Any question?
None for me. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, okay. So I will go ahead and I will delete this column and then I will uh, talk about something called related function. Okay. So this is one of different function than the text function or logical or the date time function that we have discussed. So related function, what does it do is there is something called related function that I will write here so that you guys will understand. So the related function is like this. Under related, you have to put one column name. Okay. So what does related function does? It returns related value in each row of a table based on the relationship with other table. So you will not understand like this. I will show you. So let's say I want to create a, I want to pull some value, let's say retail price. Okay, so there is something called product lookup table, right? In which we have retail price, sorry, product price, right? So let's say I want to pull this product price for each product key into sales table. Under sales table, we don't have product price. If you see, we don't have product price. Under sales table, we have information about the sales only, right? So we have customer key, order date, order line number, order number, all this product key, quantity type, and total quantity that we had created. Right. Let's say I want to pull the retail price over here. which is the product price in other table. In product lookup table, I want to pull this particular product price into sales table. Let's say I want to have that here in sales table. So there is a function called related, right? So what related function will do, it works row by row. For each row, it will return you values, related values based on the relationship, right? So let me go to the sales in this view and show you. So sales table is connected to which all table? Customer table, then calendar lookup table, then territories table, and the product lookup table. That means whichever table the sales, whichever lookup table this the sales table is connected, you can pull that particular column into this table using the related function, right? So let's say I want to pull product price from product lookup table into sales table. There should be relation ship established in the modeling view. So I see there is a relationship established between sales and product lookup, so I can pull the uh, any column from product lookup to the sales table, right? So under sales table, let me create a calculated column, and I will write retail price, and I will do related function. Now I want to pull product price from product lookup, right? So I will write product. So what I have selected product lookup table and the product price column. So I want to pull product price from product lookup table using the related function. And there is only one argument that you have to pass under related, the column name, whichever you want to actually refer to, from where you want to take the values. I will close this and hit enter. So what will happen? I will go here and show you. So under retail price, you see there are multiple values over here, right? Let me actually show you if this is correct or not. Let me sort product key. So if you see product key 214 has retail price as 34.99, right? This is similar to product price. I have just given the name as retail price, but under retail price, what formula we have used? We have used to pull the retail price. So is this same or not? I will go to product lookup, and I will show you whether it is same or not. So for 214, what is the price? Product price is 34.99, right? And if what we have pulled under sales is for 214, 34.99. So that means we have pulled the correct values over here, right? So what we have done is we have pulled that product price, named it as retail price. You can name anything, and using the related function. So now I have this retail price in the sales table itself, right? So you can use the related function anywhere if you want to pull any of the column. Although, like, it's better to avoid using related function, because what will happen is it will create a redundant calculated column, right? That means retail price is already existing in other table. Why to actually pull this and then have this here, right? But in this case, we wanted to pull this because, let's say, if you want to create some other column here in this table which is dependent on the price, so then for that purpose you need this. So related is a function in which you can pull the columns or uh, values from other, like values from column in other table to some other table. But if it's required, then do it. If it's not required, then don't like avoid doing it, right? And then you can use the related function only when you have the relationship already established between two of the tables. So related function works row by row. So it will check the first row. It will see, okay, which product key is there. And since this table is connected to the product table on the basis of product key, so it will check, okay, 214, what is the product price in that table, and it will give you the same product price in this table like this, right? And I can actually format this also by going here under format, then currency. So that's how the related function works. Any question, anyone? No question?
None for me.
Okay. So using the retail price, I can actually create other calculated column. Let's say I want to create something called revenue. So what I will do, I will write retail price that I have just now created using related function, and then I will multiply it with the uh, order quantity. So what it is giving me is the total revenue generated from each of these products, right? So wherever the, let's say the order quantity is 1, it will give you retail price multiplied by order quantity. Let's say in some row the order quantity is more than 1, so it will give you the multiplication of that number. So revenue is basically, the way we have created is, it is retail price multiplied by the order quantity. So total revenue generated from each of these products, right? So this is how we can create a few of the calculated columns, right? Now we will look into something called measure, right? So we had discussed measure also. So I'll reiterate what is the difference between calculated column and measure. So basically, calculated column is something which you can see over here, right? The way we have created retail price, you can see quantity type, you can see all these are calculated columns that we have created, and it works row by row. The values are calculated based on information from each row of a table, right? Wherein when we talk about the measures values are calculated based on the filters or in any report, like it will use the aggregation function. It will not work row by row. It will look for the entire column in one go and then apply some aggregation function in that, right? So that's how like basis on the filter, as we will change the filter, that I will show you in the visualization. But for now, just remember that it doesn't work row by row. It works on the aggregation function, like sum, average, count, all these things, right? And measure you can't see in these tables. Measure you can see in the visuals in the report view that we will create. You can't see measures in any of the table. Okay. So this is the major difference between calculated columns and measures. So let me actually show you few of the measures that is there. So some basic maths function that we have seen earlier also, which is sum, average, max, min, divide. So let me actually quickly show you all these so that like it's easier for you guys to quickly understand. So let me create few of the measures. So I will go here and similar to the calculated column, either you can select it from here, which is new column and new measure. So if you want to create measure, you can calculate it from here, new measure, or you can right click in any of the table where you want to add the measure and select new measure, right? The difference between selecting from modeling tab and doing the right click and selecting is, if you select new measure from here, Similar to new column, what will happen? By default, it will get assigned to the first table. If nothing is selected, if let's say I'm into some visualization, right? Nothing is selected and I click new measure over here, it will by default get added to the calendar lookup, right? Now let's say I want to create a measure of quantity returned, right? So creating that measure under calendar lookup doesn't make sense, right? So it's better not to take from the modeling tab, because by default it will give you calendar lookup. Better to wherever you want to create the measure, you can select that particular table and then right click and select new measure, right? So let's say under returns table. Okay, this is I will delete this. This is a quick measure that we had created. I don't want this right now. Okay, so under returns table, I will right click and I want to create measure, right? So I will select new measure over here. Instead of new column, I will select new measure. Sorry. So let's say I want to actually create something called quantity returned. So this is returns table and I want to know how many quantity has been returned, right? So what I will do, I will actually write the name of the measure that you want to create, quantity returned, and then I will use sum function, and you have to give the column name, right? So which particular column you want to actually aggregate. So I want to aggregate, there is something called return quantity, right? You can pass the numerical field over here, because the summation or average will work only on the numerical field, right? So I will pass return quantity over here, right? So what it does is it will give you quantity returned, right? Total quantity returned. Now let's say under this only, I will remove all these. Let me actually pull matrix and have something called product key. Okay, then I will have quantity returned under values, right? So you can see for each of the product how many total quantity has been returned, right? So what it is showing me is, if let's say I go to returns table, right? So this is the returns table. So what we see is on 3rd July 2016, product key 477 has been returned and the return quantity is 1, right? So let's say here what we are seeing is the same product 214 has been returned on multiple dates, right? And the return quantity is 1111 for this. So what it is doing for me is, it will, the summation how it will work is, the total product key 214, how many total quantity has been returned for that. So that is the thing that we are getting over here. So it in total 70 quantity has been returned for 214 product key. Similarly for the others also, how many total quantity has been returned. So from this table what it does is, it is aggregating the total quantity basis on the product key, because we have product key over here, right? So how measures work is, measure will aggregate basis on what level you, like basis on the filters that is changing. By filters I mean like basis on the key or the column that you want to see do the aggregation, it will change. So let's say instead of product key, I will pull territory, right? Let's say territory key. So what it is giving, see, this number has changed. Why? Because for territory key, in territory 1, total 270 quantity has been returned. So the summation is recalculating itself basis on the filters or uh, the column that we have pulled here, right? So that is how the measure works. So measure will keep on recalculating itself basis on the way you are looking the data, right? So this is one of the measure that we have calculated, which is quantity returned by using the summation function, which is sum of the return quantity, right? And similarly, if you want to calculate under sales table, right now, what do you have? You have revenue column over here, right? The calculated revenue column that you have calculated for each row by multiplying retail price and order quantity, right? Let's say I want to create total revenue column. Okay. So what I will do, I will right click, write the measure name, total revenue, and I will do sum of revenue. So what it will give me? It will create a measure in which you will have like the sum of entire revenue column, right? Now it will show you the values basis on what exact column you are pulling over here. So let's say instead of territory key, let me pull product key, right? Okay. And I want to look into total revenue, right? And let's say I pull revenue column also over here. So if you see here, under revenue and total revenue, the values are exactly same, right? So we could have used either revenue field or total revenue. So what it is doing, since both are a numerical column, like numerical field, revenue here you have calculated, which is, I will format this, which is a numerical field, right? So how it is working is, for each of the product key, it is actually aggregating your total revenue, right? Like it is aggregating the revenue field. Let me actually go here. So it is exactly same, right? But the difference here is, that is something we have discussed. One is implicit measure, one is explicit measure. What is implicit and what is explicit? So implicit is something that you can use in this visual only, right? So if you see under revenue, uh, if I can go down under revenue, if since this is a numerical field, as soon as we pulled revenue field over here, it has already done summation for us. That means what it is doing is, like for each of the product key, it is actually doing summation of those many uh, rows and giving me the result, right? And similarly, the total revenue field that is there, what we are doing, we are explicitly mentioning the summation formula over here, summation function over here, right? So we are doing summation of revenue column on our own, which is like explicitly doing. So this total revenue is explicit function and this revenue is implicit. Like this is explicit measure, total revenue, and normal revenue column, raw revenue column is implicit measure. Now why we have to create this total revenue and not directly use revenue? So this revenue will work in this visualization, but let's say you want to refer the column into some other calculation. So you can't refer the revenue column. You have to refer something which is explicitly mentioned, right? So you can refer total revenue in some other calculation, but not the actual revenue. So it's always the raw revenue column. So it's always better to actually create explicit measure instead of using implicit measure. For this visualization, it will work because both are same. So you could use either revenue field or total revenue. But for other visualization in which you want to use, or other calculation in which you want to refer to the total revenue column, then you have to use the explicit measure, right? So that's how we have created this total revenue measure, and this is the difference between implicit and explicit. This is something we had discussed last time also, right? So any question, anyone? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Any question? If no question, then we can move ahead.
I have a question on that one.
Okay.
The I just looked at the sales data that I have here,
Hmm.
the AW sales. I don't see the revenue column on mine.
So
So
we have
did you
just
just
created
create that?
calculated column revenue.
Okay. Okay.
We have just now created, right? We have created retail price using the related function. We have created revenue by multiplying retail price into order quantity, right? And then we have created a measure called total revenue in which we have aggregated this revenue column. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
it's in a similar way, let's say if I want to actually create something called uh, let me actually uh, this is total quantity. We had created this, right? Let me actually change this to order quantity. Better to understand. I'm just renaming one of the measures. Okay. Let me actually make it quantity sold. That's better. Okay. So we are actually renaming one of the measures. So quantity sold, total quantity sold is sum of all the order quantity, right? So this is one of the measures that we have created. So total revenue is again the sum of revenue that we have created. Then quantity sold is sum of order quantity. And you can see small icon before few of these things, right? So whenever you will create a measure, you will see a calculator kind of symbol in front of each of these columns or each of these measures, right? So to identify measure, you will see some calculator kind of image over here, right? Icon over here. Then if you are creating calculated column, then you will see like this kind of icon, function type of icon, right? Not function type of icon, this summation type of icon. This retail price that we have created is a calculated column, right? This revenue is a calculated column, right? So these are calculated column, and quantity type is also calculated column, but we have used here the no, logical function, right? So that's why it's showing me fx. So all these are calculated columns. So you can identify these using the small icon. Then you have something called measure. Then you have summation over here, which will show that these are the numerical columns, right? And then you have something called calendar. So these are the dates that is there. So these are few of the icons that will help you identify like what is actually, like let's say you create multiple measures, so you can see okay which all measures you have created, which all calculated columns you have created. Nothing to do with any calculation or anything, just like for the awareness. Okay, so now let me go to the returns table and we will create few more measures. So right now what all we have quantity returned, right? And we have return quantity, we have created quantity return, right? Now we know that how many quantity has been returned, and from the sales table how many orders has been sold, like how many quantity has been sold, right? For each order, how many, like overall how many quantity has been sold, and from returns table I know like how many quantity has been returned, right? So let's say I want to create a measure in which I want to see return rate. That means uh, how how many total returns are happening per the total sales that is happening, like what is the return rate. uh, so I will create a measure in which I will write quantity returned divided by quantity sold, right? So this will tell me like out of total quantity that has been sold, how many of them are returned, which will give you a measure which is return rate, right? So this is what we have created. You could use either like this, or you could use divide function also. We had one function which is called divide. So you can use either like this. This will, whatever value this will give, let me actually pull it here and show you so that you know that this will give the same result. So I have product key. Let me pull quantity sold, right? And quantity returned, total revenue, uh, revenue, and I will remove revenue because both are same, and then I will put return rate. Okay, let's have it in percentage. So you see that what we are saying is we have for each of the product what is the return rate. So out of the total quantity sold, how many of them got returned, right? So I can either write like this divided by this, or instead of this, if you want to use that divide function that is out there, you can use that also. Divide, you have like two things that you can pass over here, right? Numerator and denominator. So numerator would be quantity returned and denominator would be quantity sold, right? Alternate result is something like if you have some a case in which there is 0 in the denominator and you want to handle that one, then you can put like if the answer is not coming, if there is some error, then what to return. So you can put anything over here. Usually we don't put it. Don't We don't need right now because we will have everything over here. Let's put something called no case. So see, the values has not changed because this divide function or directly divide will give you the same result, right? You can write either ways. And let's actually remove. So let me show you like instead of product key, let's pull category name and show you. So it will be visually you can understand what's happening. Okay. So here what we are saying is we have three categories: accessory, bikes, clothing, right? So what we are saying is each of these categories has been like 57,000 quantity has been sold for accessories, 13 almost 14K has been for bikes, and 12,436 for clothing, right? These many are sold. Out of each of these category, these are the returned, right? So accessories are returned 1130 quantity has been returned for accessories, 429 for bikes, and 269 for clothing. And this is return rate, which means like out of all the quantity that has been sold, how many of them are returned. So we see that bikes is a category which is giving me the highest return rate. That means out of whatever we are selling, most of like almost 3% of them are people are returning us back. So this gives like few of the things, like this is one of the view which you can show, and then like this is giving me good insight, right? Like which one is getting returned more often, and or which one is very less, which one is having like very less return rate, which category is having very less return rate. So we know that the accessories is performing well as compared to other categories. So few of the insights that you can get from here. So we have used simple, very simple functions in measures, and you see that we are getting few of the insights from the data, right? So this is how we actually create measures. We have done used some today, and a few of the functions like divide, multiplication also we have used while creating your revenue, right? We had created revenue over here. So we have used some multiplication to actually get the revenue. So these are few of the functions. If you want to look for more average or something, we can go over that, but it works like the similar way. The way it is doing, let's say for quantity returned, right? We are doing like total quantity that has been returned. You can, if you want, you can see like how many average quantity has been returned, right? So instead of summation function, what you can do average of return quantity, and then you can have a look into this, right? Or what we can do is we can have retail prices somewhere, right? Let me actually go there and quickly show you one of the create one measure using average function. Let me go to the lookup table. Okay. Here we have something called product price, right? So let's say I want to look into the create new measure and have average price, average retail price. What I will do, I will use average function over here, and then I will use product price column from lookup table. So what it will give me, it will give me uh, the average retail price for each of these category if I pull it over here. So let's say I pull average this thing, retail price, average retail price I have created here, right? So if I pull it here, okay, 1 minute. Format it. You can format it by going here at the top. As soon as you click any of the measure, there is something called measure tool will pop up, wherein you can format whatever you want to do, percentage, currency, whatever, right? So here I will make it 2 digit, 2 decimal, right? So what we are seeing over here is for each of the categories, we have average retail price, like average product price. You see there is one category components wherein you don't have any quantity sold, returned or return rate, but you have average retail price, right? So this category is something, so under product lookup, you have like all the products mentioned and the price attached to it, like what is the price for, let's say, one motorbike, or what is the price for helmet, or under components category you will have some products wherein you will have the price listed, right? So under components nothing has been sold or returned yet, but still we will have like the average retail price, right? Because those components are listed in the lookup table, right? Still those are not sold, but we have the retail price. So that's why we have here one category wherein you have average retail price. So that's how like the average function works. So similarly, like what all functions do we have? We have sum, average, max, min. So max will give you the largest value in the column. Min will return the smallest value in the column. And divide we have seen, like if you want to create some rate or something, you can do numerator divided by denominator. So these are basic measures that you can create using these functions, right? Any question, anyone?
I have a question, but it's not directly related to what we just covered about the measures and stuff, but I was just thinking about the report, like where we the refresh option where we in the questions that you gave us, I think in number one, we had to disable the refresh option. Do you
Okay,
remember
we
that
will
the
we will
number?
come back. We will come back to that. First, let me finish this and then we will discuss your doubt, right? So in this, do you have any questions or anyone else has any question?
Hmm, no, I just need to practice it.
Okay. So last thing I want to show is there is something called drill up, drill down things that will come over here, which you can see. So let me along with category name, let me pull subcategory, right? So there's something called subcategory column, right? Yeah, subcategory. Okay, and then so here what you can see is there's something called an arrow came, right? If you have only one column, nothing will appear over here. But let's say you have like multiple columns under here. You see there's something called like some options came over here wherein you have option to drill down. Then you go to the next level in hierarchy or expand, right? So if I go to drill down, what it will, if I click drill down, what it will do, like it will start showing me values under this. Under accessories there are some subcategories, right? Why I have taken this, let me take subcategory name, right? So under each of these you have uh, so drill up will actually make this like go to the highest level, which is category, right? Ideally this should, so this one is showing you subcategory name, this one is showing you category name, and if I click on the expand all, it will have like everything over here, which is category name and subcategory name, right? So you have drill up option, you have uh, drill down, which is subcategory name, or you can look everything in one go, right? So I need to remove this, go to the up, and then click on expand all. So you will have everything over here. Let's say you have like one product name also added over here. Okay. So now you have three values over here. Under subcategory also what products you have picked. So if you go drill like expand everything, what you will see under accessories you have bike racks, you have under bike racks you have this bike. Under bottles and cages you have three types of bottle and cages, right? And for each one of these you have all the information, how many quantity has been sold, how many quantity has been returned, what is the return rate, what is the average retail price. So that is how drill up, drill down, and expand all options work, right?
So I didn't understand the drill up and the drill down exactly what they did. I understood the expand all and how it
Okay,
showed
so
all of
okay,
them.
so right now we are in
Same with me.
expand all. Right now we are in expand all, right? So drill up, what it will do, let's say I click on drill up. So it will like it will compress the last level and it will move it to the higher level. So let's say we are in expand also, everything like you have three values over here, like three columns you have pulled here, right? So you have what all you have, you have category name, then subcategory name, then product name, right? Drill up will move it to one level higher, right? So if I drill up, then it will take you to bike racks. If I drill up again, it will take you to the category name. So it's basically combining multiple things into one. So it is going from product name to subcategory name to category name, right? If I do drill down, right, go to the next level. So it is taking, I don't know why this one is not working, but Ideally, how it should have gone is, if I do drill down, then after category name, it should come subcategory. It will, drill mode is on. Okay. So is this level is taking me to the next level in the hierarchy, which means like after category name, subcategory name is coming, right? And then after subcategory name, you have product name. So you are digging one level down from here, right? And this drill up is taking you to the one level up. So so basically you have three levels over here, right? Category name, subcategory name, product name. Category name is like at an overall level, you have accessories. Then under accessories, you will have multiple things, right? You have multiple categories under accessories, bike racks, bike stands, and all those. And under each of the subcategory, you will have products that is there, right? Under bottles, you see there are multiple products over here, right? So moving down is called drill down and moving up is called drill up, right? So if you go from category to subcategory, that means you are drilling down. You are trying to understand under accessories which particular subcategory has return rate higher. Under subcategory, which product has return rate higher. Let's take example of bottles and cases, right? So under bottles and cases, what do you see? Bottles and cases at an overall level return rate is 1.91, right? And under bottles and cases, you have multiple uh, products sold, right? So which product has been having the higher return rate? So you know that mountain bottle case, like under bottles and cages, we sell three total products, in which mountain bottle cage is some product which is having higher return rate. So you can actually focus on this, like why do we have like higher return rate, right? So this is called drilling down, like from higher levels, from accessories we went down to bottles and cages, and then we pinpointed the product name, which product is having the higher return rate, right? So we are drilling down basically here. And if drill up is basically you are going to the highest level, which is this. If you click on this, you will go up. And if you will click on this one, it will take you to the next level. And if you want to look at everything in one go, then what you need to do is you just click on this one. It will have like everything in here. Did you understand?
So I understood the drill down and the expand all, but I
Mhm.
still didn't get the drill up. The like the whole concept behind drill up I didn't get. What does it do
Oh,
for you when you drill up? You said the highest category. I don't understand that.
drill up
From
means
products.
drill up means from water bottle, which is product name, you if you want to look into accessories, right? So as you understood the drill down thing, the just opposite thing is drilling up. That means you from the lowest level means here what is the lowest level? Product name is the lowest level, right? So if you want to look at an overall level accessories how it is performing, you will go up one level up, two level up. Why I'm saying level over here? Because here we have three things pulled in here, which is category, subcategory, and product, right? So these are the levels for now, because under category we have multiple subcategories, and under subcategory categories we are having multiple products, right? So these are three levels out here. If I want to move from product name to accessories, since we have multiple products combined to form one subcategory and multiple categories combined to form one category, so if we go from product name to accessories, that means we are going up, which we call it as drill up. And if we go down from accessories and in under one category we have multiple subcategory, that means we are drilling down. If you combine multiple things into one, that means that is drilling up. And if you break one thing into multiple things, that means you are drilling down.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's a lot clearer now.
So if I go up from this if I want to look at the accessories, that means we are combining multiple things into one and then going to this level. That means we are drilling up, we are going up. So that's why you using this thing, you can drill up. So now you see you have like accessories at an overall level, right?
Yeah.
Can you click the expand one more time to see
Yeah.
it? I just want to see. Mm. Where is the subcategory here?
Bike racks, bike stands. So you see, under accessories, you have multiple things over here, right? Which is bike racks, bike stands, bottle cages, cleaners, fenders, helmets. All these are under accessories. And then the third thing is these mountain bottle. So these three are categorized into bottle and cages,
Mm.
right? So this one is product name, bottles and cages are subcategory, and multiple
Okay.
subcategories combined to create accessories, which is category.
So the bike rack is the category?
Is subcategory because bike rack, bike stand, all these combined to create accessories. Let me actually do like this. So then I think drill up. If I hit on accessories, you see how many things you see. These all are subcategory. So under category accessory, you have multiple subcategory, which is bike rack, bike stand, cleaners, fenders, helmets, all these. And if I go one level more down, then it will show me product name. So hitch rack is a product name, bike rack is subcategory, and accessory is a category.
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we are almost like over time. Uh, so any more question in today's lecture?
Is there such a thing as drill through?
Sorry,
Drill through? Like
drill
drill up
through
and drill
means,
down, drill through? Uh-huh.
what does it mean, drill through?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get your question. What do you want to see?
I don't know. I think I've heard yeah, like there is drill down and then drill through. Is that the same as drill, like drill down, drill through, drill up? Is that the same as drill up? Because I've heard of drill through before. I don't know. You haven't covered it. So is that the same as one of the ones that we've already covered?
I'm not sure about drill through, but drill down and drill up will cover everything. Drill through means, I think it, I'm not sure exactly like what does drill through does, but drill down and drill up is something that you can like that will cover everything. Basically, if you want to drill down till any level or drill up till any level, you can cover it from here.
I see. Okay, that's probably like okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Drill, drill through is in a Power BI service. I think.
It's it's the same way I guess you would do drill down or drill. They're probably using the word interchangeably. I don't know because I've heard of drill through. Like in fact, there's a
Okay.
YouTube
Let
video
me
I've seen
actually
before.
create some visualization and then quickly have it. Maybe in visualization it will have the drill through over here. I can't see it here. Okay, so if I will find it, I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, drill through will also do the same thing, I think. But yeah,
It probably does the same thing as the drill up or something very similar to that. But I'll watch a video as well to see exactly what the drill through does.
yeah, sure. I'll also have a look if I get drill through also in some of the visualization. You might have drill through. Then we will see that. But drill through will work similar to drill down or drill up. What does drill through means? Like if you want to actually look into more granular level, right? Like you have like overall thing and you want to go deep into that data. That means you are drilling through that, right? So the meaning of that is same. Either you could do this or you can, I think, right click and drill through. Do we have it? We don't have it here, but I think it will work the same way, right? Can I do this here? No. Yeah, so it should work the same way. Drill through is similar, should be similar to drill down or drill up, right? Okay.
And can we cover parameterized reports and stuff? Like whenever we create a report, a visualization, I mean, can you show us
Sorry,
that or just
which one?
parameterized
Parameterized.
report, like yeah, by year, quarter, or something like that? Can you show us something like I've seen a video before too, but I don't remember.
Okay, I can cover that. Okay,
Thank you so much, Miha.
no problem. Yeah. Any more question, anyone? Or we can wrap up today's session and we can connect again tomorrow. Hanan, you had some doubt. You can quickly ask and we will wrap today's session.
You said Hanan?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good. I think I've already answered all of my questions and you've answered it. So we'll look into the drill through part and we'll discuss it hopefully tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night.